Good morning, sir. First of all, now my name is Aryav Patil. I am from Westpur, Vivekananda Education Society of Architecture. Today I will be taking your 5 to 10 minutes interview. I will ask you 2 to 4 questions. You have to answer it briefly. Okay. So, students, we are now with architect Malak Singh. He is an bigger architect who are pursuing and practicing architecture from many years. So we will asking him 4 to 5 questions, and he will give an answer to us in brief. So my first question to you is how you consider climate and local context in your design?
So our designs are basically based on what is context. Now context could be the cultural context, it could be the physical or environmental context. Now in these two, within the cultural and the environmental context, the local climate and the local technology or which is existing in that particular context for many years, all that gets included. The climate is important because we must realize that the whole area is existing in a macro and a micro climate.
Yes.
Now when we make a building there, that building should intervene in that climate only in such a way that the positive effects of the climate should not be stopped.
Yes.
And the negative or the difficult aspects of the climate should be stopped.
Yes.
So that we cannot do without considering the local climate.
Yes.
Then the second thing is now what are the best ways to do this? That is firstly is by using the knowledge which exists about the local materials and the technology of building. So we work with the local people. We learn their techniques, their systems of building from them before designing the building, so that we take advantage of all the experience that they have encoded in their systems, and also we get the benefit of the material combinations which they have used to get the desired climatic effect.
Yes.
So after learning from the local traditions, we design our building in such a way which may be for a modern context, but we take advantage of this local technical knowledge and adapt the building to the local climate.
Now my next question is, what advice will you give to the students who are coming in this field, architecture, or who are pursuing architecture, or who are doing interns you have also interns in your studio. So what you will give to advise them for this field, who are coming and who are pursuing?
Okay, so my advice to students of architecture is mainly that you are the students of a very, very important field.
Yes.
In Marathi, there is a word that if there are two things in life which you will not understand what they mean until you do it. One is getting married, and the second is building a house. So just like almost like getting married, building house happens once in a lifetime.
Yes.
So architects are responsible for intervening in a particular family or community's life once in their lifetime. So the importance of that intervention is very high. But this is of course not just residential but commercial also. The idea is that you don't build houses like you buy clothes. You buy clothes every season or every year, but you are building house very less frequently. So the importance of doing it correctly is very high. So therefore, one thing is that the seriousness with which it needs to be approached is a very, very critical thing which students of architecture must understand when they get into this field, and that is the seriousness with which they should get into the field. Also, when they are now into the field, they must realize that they have great freedom and great responsibility and therefore great amount of influence on the lives of people and the quality of their lives.
Yes.
How they will spend the remaining years or many years to come in that product which the architect designs.
Yes, yes.
Is in the hands of the architect to a great extent. Of course, there are many contributors, but finally the person who composes the whole thing together, assembles all the factors and makes a house is the architect. So the students must realize, one is how critical is their role is in their lifetime, but also in the part where the quality of life which they have in that product which they make is dependent on how seriously you make. So take this profession extremely seriously.
Okay.
And of course, the creativity is a very important part of it. But like I said, it does not come without very high degree of responsibility. Then I feel that once you are responsible, then the creativity does not feel like any kind of a challenge or burden, because that is probably what you are trained for through the course.
So, sir is telling that I can repeat it in Marathi.
जरूर
हाँ.
जरूर.
सो सर असं म्हणायचंय सरांना की घर आपण एकदाच बनवतो, लोकांना ते चांगलं वाटलं पाहिजे, हा आपला रोल असला पाहिजे. बरोबर ना सर?
बरोबर.
ओके. सो वी विल प्रोसीड टू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Where do you see the architect's future in next 10 years?
The field of architecture is evolving very fast
Yes.
with technology, both in the hard aspect, which is the materials, technology of construction and delivery, but also in the soft aspect, which is one is in terms of the research, the various disciplines which are feeding into design, but also the automated processes and the processes of artificial intelligence. So here is a time when architects are now in a time where it becomes almost essential to be able to cultivate the discrimination or the differentiation between intelligence and wisdom. They are two different things, and there needs to be a human sensitivity, compassion, and tolerance and inclusivity, which may not be the subject of a computer simulation.
Yes.
When it comes to designing for humans. So which part can be delegated to artificial intelligence and which part needs to be the role of an architect or a visionary is what discerning or discriminating or differentiating is going to be the basis of the future role of architects, I feel, right now. Also, I mean, just take the example of in this slide today we are at a highest rate of unemployment in the history of India, independent India. How do we look at the role of design now in this? Should we design to be able to employ more people also?
Yes, also.
As we are, so therefore I said the discerning of what role should be allocated to AI needs a holistic and needs a compassionate approach also, rather than just a technological or an economic one.
So last question. So tell me one of your design project where I can visit and in which perspective you have designed that.
You can visit many projects, but Vanwadi is a very nice project at Karzat.
Okay.
Karzat, it is a non-profit kind of building, a collective which is running education or training center for sustainable living.
Okay.
It's a very small building, but it was built in a collaborative way, participatory, construction. It is designed keeping the traditional knowledge systems of the local craftsmen in mind. It was done almost without making any drawing, by giving a model as a instrument of communication, and the materials were taken from the area around the building itself. So because the people protected the forest,
Yes,
so they
yes.
could take the trees and build it.
Right.
So it's a very good, very high on the sustainability quotient. It also involved like a workshop model where people from all over the world would come to to work with us on that building and learn how it is built, but at the same time contributing as a Shramadan to the construction. So in a whole sense, it's a very good example of sustainable building, not just as a product but also as a process.
Thanks, sir, giving me time. So these were the experiences of sir, which we can see from their words. So every architect should listen this interview. I will be taking it on YouTube also. So thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, Arya, and wish you all the best.
Thanks.